Hey, I'm Kev here, Mr. Khan. Welcome to Season 5 of Formula Xbox. And Tier 1 visited the Albert Park Street Circuit in Melbourne, Australia for the opening round of the 5th season of Formula Xbox. And as you can see, we have returned to Ferrari, our kind of figurative home in my league racing. It seems I'm either in the Sauber or Ferrari for the most part. Had a season off with Force India, but I'm back in the red once again, and I'm back in cockpit cam for 2014. It just didn't work for me in 2013, and so that's why I was in the offset T cam, which worked quite well, and I could see the mirrors at least, and I could actually see my dial or dash on the steering wheel as well with the offset T cam. But I've returned back to cockpit cam for 2014, and that's mainly because I'm actually going to do career mode for 2014 as well on my main channel, and because it just feels comfortable now in 2014. It seems to be much better, and the steering wheel information is much better as well, even though I don't get my speed, which is kind of unusual, omission from the steering wheel information. And so it's a good dash to note down. I definitely know which gear I'm in at least, and so yeah, it's very good to see. And so that's why I'm back in the steering wheel, and we are around Melbourne, and you've already seen me go wide, already seen me cost myself loads of time. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn off medium traction control as well for this race. I have it on for career mode because I have ungodly traction. So if I have ungodly traction in this race, that's why, because I didn't really have struggles with traction or with the tyre wear either. So yeah, my mistake there. So I'll turn it off for Malaysia. As you can see, it didn't help me at all, as I went last by miles due to loads of mistakes on my qualifying lap. And then my second run here through the fast left and right chicane, and I get caught by the Williams of Massa, and that's GFX Massa, not Felipe. And so unfortunately we just caught each other in a bad spot, and I kind of ruined his qualifying, unfortunately. So I apologise for that, and he didn't get a qualifying run in because of that. It was just a bad place to catch each other. Sadly, as you can see, I was still pushing because I believed I could have, improved my qualifying time. But yeah, just poor time in there. As you can see, 25.8 for pro racing in the Taurus. I heard a Mercedes of Casey Legend, so great qualifying from him. And no Armstrong in the top two. Rare to see in qualifying. Will it be in the race though, as it is wet? We're waiting for the 5 lights to go out, and we are away for season 5 of Formula Xbox. So you've got Zerka in the Sauber ahead of us, and we have got Massa behind us, of course, in the Williams. 11 guys turning up to the opening round of the season, and look at that 3 wide through turn 1. As you can see, it is no less feisty this season either, as we are very cautious into that turn, as I forgot to put on the arrows for this race as it's wet conditions, and I'll probably put arrows on for the rest of the season, as these mirrors are quite shite actually. As you can see, they cut off halfway through. So, and if I note left or right, I go off the circuit. I've practiced, especially in career mode. It's not very good. So yeah, I've probably got to turn on the arrows for the old league racing. But as you can see, we're behind Sam in the Mush, who's also dropped back to the end of Nicolas. We've got the old rain lights flashing in front of us, bit of distraction. But as you can see, it's very wet at the beginning of this race, but it will dry out during this race. Don't you worry about that, as we go to the end of the first lap and into the infamous turn 13, I believe it is. And someone's gone wide. It is our Pulses, a Pro Racing 69. Is bad luck from season 4. It's just continuing, getting pole, and he's already off the track. He's already exploring the limits of the gravel. And so we're at the end of the first lap. We're in 10th spot ahead of Pro Racing 69. I'm sure he'll battle his way through the field. He's a very fast guy. As we're getting in the slipstream with Sam. And I didn't really want to make a move on Sam because I've seen some of his previous league videos in Pinnacle, and he seems to be having some lag problems. So if I got ahead of him or alongside him, I wouldn't be sure where he is. But I knew like his lag wasn't that bad at all in this race, apart from one instance, which I'll show you later. But as you can see, later into the lap 2, at the end of the first set, unfortunately I tapped the back of him just into that right hander, and so yeah, I apologise for that. I was a bit out of sync in the first half of this race. As I say, I haven't been on this game for a few days, and so I wasn't quite in the rhythm, and it took me half the race to get into that rhythm. Sam messes up the old right left chicane in the middle of the lap, and so we're getting knocked down his inside. Looks like we're head up into 9th place through the fast left right chicane, and oh, we're getting the back end out, as now Pro Racing 69 has taken Sam, it's taken me as well, but then he slows down for some reason. I don't know why. Did he make an unfair move on Sam? I'm guessing there. And so he's very graciously let Sam back past. And so we're up to 9th place, taking advantage of those mishaps. But I can see we've lost our kind of slot in the midfield gaggle here, as we drop back a few seconds, and we drop back even more seconds as we break on the grass into turn 3. I wasn't sure whether to rejoin because I wasn't sure if I was going to rejoin in front of those guys, and in the end I rejoined in front of those guys anyway, and Prozen69 took advantage of that, went past me, I ran a bit wide into the fast right, that's allowed Sam back past, and so we're back to last place, back where we normally are in Season 4, and we're starting it off Season 5 where we're right at the back once again. We might have to get used to this season, unfortunately, but as you can see, we're behind Sam, and looks like into turn 13 once again. Someone else has gone right, and it's the other front row sitter. It's Casey Legend in the Mercedes. As you can see, I was very cautious here and don't want to run into the back of him, but he let me through as he is about to pit for his only stop of the race onto the intermediates. But unfortunately, he's off at turn 13. Very tricky corner as well, but looks like it's claimed to the front row guys as well this race, so very fast guys, so they'll be battling for a podium really hard now to get back up there. But as you can see, we're still behind Sam, and now he's gone a bit wide into turn 1, and now we got a great run on him coming out of it as we approach turn 3 down this straight. As we get in the slipstream, he's defending hard, and we're looking round the outside. As I said, his lag didn't seem too bad, so I didn't mind making this move here, but it looks like he defended well, and we're still behind the Marussia, and it looks like Casey Legend is over 20 seconds behind her. We've got to keep an eye on that gap, because he could be right behind us by the time we have to make our pit stop onto another set of intermediate tyres. But as you can see later on into that through that turn 13, going a bit wide, but into turn 14 we go a bit wider. We missed our turning point, missed our lift off point as well to get off the throttle, and so we went a bit wide, clipped a bit of the gravel, collecting some for home, and then into the penultimate corner, taking the left very well, and then taking the right quite well as well. As I said, I unfortunately had medium traction control on, so yeah, maybe we've got to turn it off for the next race. But as I say, on that 5 now, and we're going a bit wider. As I said, a bit out of sync, so most of my highlights are just me making mistakes. So into that corner at the end of the first sector, and as you can see, over 22 seconds there with Casey Legend. Remember, keep an eye on that. And as you can see, he's gaining time, was gained half a second in the middle of that lap, and now into that fast right, just clip the inside, and you know, you get that slow down effect, and that just makes you spin the back end of the car around. At least I'm showing off for the fans. But as you see, Ars Tremors pitted, we have Massa pitting as well, and Drastic Midget is it, I think, or was that? I think that was, yeah, that was this lap. I think Drastic Midget as well. And so we're up to 7th spot ahead of the 3 pitters. And you can see on lap 7, once again going wide. We have to try and keep the pace up to stay ahead of Ars Trem, not to interrupt his race, not to interrupt ours by battering at the end of this lap. So we're making our pit stop. We made it, and we're into last spot after our pit stop, as Sam still has not pitted, I don't think. And so you can see he's in front of us here, and I'm not sure if there was a lag involved, because look, he disappears from in front of Drastic Midget, and this is when I said his lag was fine, and I'm not sure if Drastic Midget has lag problems here, but something happened. And when we come out of here, yellow flag, and it looks like Sam had a collision with Zerka in the Sauber, and so we're up to 9th spot ahead of those two. And so I have no idea what happened there. As you saw, Sam was in front of Drastic Midget, and then a second later he's in a crash. So yeah, some strange things happening with online once again in the Codemasters games. Who would have thought it? But onto that trail, once again cutting that corner, just getting the back end out for the crowd. As we go on to the last lap, we were just following Drastic Midget for the second half of this race. We followed Sam for the first half of the race, but second half of the race we were a bit better as well than Mr. Joe, because we win an open round this season in his McLaren. And as you can see, we're following Drastic Midget. We were just never quite close enough to make a move. We had similar pace, really, so that's quite promising. That's better pace than I thought I would have this race. You can see I didn't really practice at all, and as I was a bit out of sync in the first half of this race, but once I got used to remembering the understeer characteristics of the car here, you know, you have to turn in early, be on the throttle early as well to help balance it. And so as you can see, we're catching on him. It may be another lap we could have made it fast, but it doesn't look like we need another lap. He's gone wide in penultimate corner. Now we're going round the outside. We've got the run on Drastic Midget in his Red Bull. We're just about going around his outside. Look at my right hand ring mirror as he's right alongside us, and now he's a few meters behind us as he had lag as well on the run to the line. So unfortunately that kind of settled a couple of places there, it seemed. But look at that, Massa got 10th, Zerka 9th, Midget 8th, we got 7th, and behind our teammate Sir Lane as well with similar place as well. So very good start, I would say, for us, getting 7th spot behind our teammate. Well done to us, down in 2nd, Pro Racing at 3rd, great comeback back from him, Silent Mile 4th, and Case Surgeon 5th. But I hope you enjoyed the first round of Season 5, and we'll be back in Malaysia for round 2. So, Sound Fortune, and I will see you then.